Google I/O 2023 just happened. So let's go over everything that Google announced. Hi, welcome to ZGadgetReview. Google I/O 2023. This is where Google announces new products, new features, new things that are going to be going on with Google. And in this year, they are leaning heavily into AI. Google is technically going to become an AI software company based on all the announcements that they have made. Based on their announcements and the way they've been talking about AI, all products are going to be centered around AI, or AI is going to have some sort of input on the products that you're going to be using. Let's start with something like Google Maps is going to be updating to have 3D features or bird's eye view features. This is going to give you your route in a 3D manner with weather features. For the example they gave was if you were taking a bicycle ride in New York from point A to point B, you will be able to see it in 3D. And at the same time, the app will let you know what kind of weather to expect on this ride. The feature is going to be coming to 15 cities within Google Maps. We also show a plethora of uses for AI when you are writing emails, when you're writing documents, and the ways AI can help you do those things. In other words, how AI can do things for you without you having to do them or think about how to do these things, meaning that it's going to be harder for people to redact an email, which doesn't sound like the greatest thing ever, but technically that's the way we're going to be going. So that's some of the things that Google was focusing on, technically making your life easier. I don't necessarily agree with that. That will be a topic for another time. Another thing that they're going to be moving AI into is editing your images. As we know, Google has that feature where you can delete things from your pictures that you don't want them to be there. Just by marking them, it'll delete it and it'll fill in the space by, of course, using AI based on the image that you are fixing or editing. Well, Google is taking this way beyond just deleting or changing colors of things. The new feature for editing pictures is going to allow you not to only make changes to the environment. You can make the sky brighter, you can make the sky darker. You can, of course, still delete things within the pictures. You still can, of course, change colors within the pictures. But you can also move the subject in the image if you want to move it, let's say, from the left to the center of the image. Or if you want to move the subject a little bit higher or move it a little bit lower. Now you're going to be able to do them just by touching your screen in a few seconds. Anybody's going to be able to do it. And of course, this is going to be powered by AI. And it is pretty cool because, yeah, sometimes you want to make edits on the fly on your phone. So seeing the use of AI on something like this makes sense. The feature isn't available yet. They said that it will be available later this year. My assumption is that it's going to be coming as part of the new Pixel devices. They also spoke about all the new improvements that they have made to the AI Bard. Bard is their AI robot that is part of your Google search feature, kind of like ChatGPT is part of Bing. And they also announced that it's going to be available for everyone. So if you're interested in trying out Google's Bard, you can go ahead and try it now. Google unveiled what they're calling Google Search Supercharged. And that is not my term, that is their term. And what this means is that now you'll be able to make searches by asking questions in a more conversational way, kind of like you've been able to do with Bing for the last few months due to ChatGPT. It's going to be the same concept, except it's going to be using Google's own AI system. And they showed how it would work if you were asking, natural, normal questions like, hey, what's the best place to do X? And what's the best place for a family to do this? But they also focus a lot on the sales features of this. So one of the things that they said is, what if I want to buy a mountain bike? And this will give you different choices of where to buy mountain bikes and the best mountain bikes. Supposedly, according to Google, this is going to be done by the AI searching and looking for the best options. Of course, no one's going to pay to be at the top of this list, right? But yeah, it didn't seem like an amazing feature, maybe because we've already seen it with Bing for the last few months. And so we're gonna like, okay, works, we get it. But also probably because Google focused a lot on how to sell you something by using their Google Supercharged search. So it was underwhelming in my opinion. Is there? Use it. The Pixel Watch. The Pixel Watch is going to get a new communication app, which is going to be WhatsApp. So you're going to have WhatsApp on your watch. This is in a Pixel Watch. And you, of course, be able to talk to people via WhatsApp. Yay. Google will be making improvements to Find My Device. They're going to be taking the same concept that Apple has, where you're technically connecting all of those devices to help you track things. So now you'll be able to use all Android devices in order to track your things. So if you left your headphones in the gym, you'll be able to know exactly where in the gym those things are. Somebody passes by or is around it having a Android device. The other thing that they announced that I think is actually pretty cool, because this isn't, I mean, it is cool that you can do that. But again, it's something that's been around because Apple has done it. This is something that actually Apple has done first for once. So we can give them credit for that. They didn't go back and said, hey, we're the first ones, since somebody's been doing it for years. So kudos for that. But the new thing that you're going to be able to do with Android that Apple also is on board with for once is you'll be able to look for things that are tracking you without your knowledge. So somebody dropped an AirTag or an Apple AirTag, right? An Apple tag in your car, and you didn't know it was there, and it's been tracking you. You'll be able to search to see if there's a tracker there, but where that tracker is. And this is something that, again, Apple is also part of with Android in order to help you find things that might be tracking you without your knowledge. That is important. And it continues pushing Apple into adopting RCS. And if you don't know what RCS is, it's a more secure way of messaging each other via text message. It also will get rid of this whole concept of blue-green bubbles BS that people complain about. It'll be able to make it so you can see people's reactions to your text messages if you're an iOS device. And if you're on an Android device, same thing. Google continues pushing Apple to adopt this thing that Apple is dead set against. They said that there's 800 million people using RCS text messaging. So Apple, what are you waiting for? And it makes sense. This is not being adopted by Apple just by Apple because Apple wants to continue driving the point that of the bubble point and what reactions things you get and all this stuff, which is a bunch of BS, because Apple could actually adopt it and get rid of this whole issue. And not only that, but also protect its users with a more secure way of text messaging. But Apple's not going to do it because Apple is Apple, and they just do things when they're forced by law or something, kind of like what's going to be happening in the EU with the whole charging port thing. AI is going to be coming to your text messages in the form where you'll be able to not only get suggestions, as we've been getting suggestions for a while now, by the phone learning your style of writing text and things like that, but you'll be able to change the way your message sounds. And one of the examples that they gave is like, you could write a text message and you will have a drop-down window where you could say that message in Shakespearean, for example, which sounds fun and cool, but I don't think it's anything groundbreaking. I mean, maybe in the future, things will come to that will be groundbreaking, but I thought it was a pretty fun thing. Changes are coming to your phone's lock screen. You'll be able to make customizations to your lock screen that you otherwise couldn't do before. This is also going to allow you to make the phone more yours, as the example that they gave us. You'll be able to add different shortcuts to the lock screen. You'll be able to change the color of the clock. You'll be able to change the way the clock looks. So it's going to give you more flexibility to make the device yours. They're also adding new home screen customizations where you can create your own home screen. One of those things is going to be using emojis. You're going to be able to pick a bunch of different emojis and create a wallpaper using those emojis. You'll be able to change the color of it. You'll be able to size it the way you want to. And it is also going to react to your touch. Now, we also have AI coming, of course, to this, because why wouldn't it, right? We just talked about Google being 100% into AI. And so what we're going to be having is that you're going to be able to change your regular pictures if you want to put them on your lock screen and give them a cinematic look. Now, if you're not aware of what this looks like, it's when you have a picture, a regular 2D picture that gets a little movement. They usually add like a zoom to it. So you're going to be able to do that. But they're not only doing that, they're also going to add a 3D effect to the picture, where if you move your phone to the sides, you're going to see that image moving with the movement of your phone, giving it that 3D effect. And more customization coming to your wallpaper is that you'll be able to create your own wallpaper images by just using text. And what do I mean by this? If you've ever played with any of those image generators, AI image generators, where you could put a sentence or put a description of what you want to see, this is exactly going to work the same way, where you'll be able to put a description of what you want and the style that you want, and AI is going to create images for you in order for you to use as wallpaper. Now let's go into hardware announcements. These are new devices that were announced. Pixel 7a was announced. It's going to be powered by the Tensor G2. The device is going to have a bigger sensor than the 6a. It's going to be 72% bigger. The Pixel 7a is going to come with 8 gigs of RAM. It is going to come with exclusive coral color, which is this kind of like orangey color, and it's going to be available for $499. It is available now for ordering. Next, we have the so much waited Pixel tablet. This Pixel tablet was announced last year, a while ago, and they just came around to finally giving us all the info, pricing, and availability. So the Pixel tablet will have, again, the Tensor G2. It's going to have an 11-inch display, 2560 by 1600 resolution. It's going to have up to 12 hours of battery, according to what they're saying, even using video communication. So that means that the battery should be longer if you don't do video calling. We're going to have a fingerprint sensor on the power button. It's going to come with 4 speakers, 2 on each side, to give you a stereo sound. The Pixel tablet, a powerful beast it will not be, because it only comes with 8 gigs of RAM. You get 2 different flavors for storage, 128 gigs and 256 gigs. The cameras are a measly 8 megapixels, and then I'm talking about front and back cameras. So this isn't going to be the device for videos or pictures, if that's what you wanted to be, one of those people at the concert with a gigantic tablet. Doesn't make any sense. Coolest thing about this thing is that it's going to come shipped with a dock, and the dock is also going to be a charger, and the dock is also a speaker, making it kind of look like the Echo Show. And to me, technically, this is what it is. Google has figured out a way to make an Echo Show that has a detachable screen that you can take around the house. It's pretty smart from Google, but it is an Echo Show. It's available for pre-order for $499, and it's going to be shipping next month. Now let's talk about the biggest announcement at Google I/O, and that is the Pixel Fold. The Pixel Fold has finally been unveiled, and there are some cool things about it, and there is a really dumb thing about it. We're going to go in that order, from the coolest to the dumbest. So let's get going. The Pixel Fold is going to pack the Tensor G2 as we had seen in leaks. It is going to be IPX8 rated as we had seen in leaks, which means that it's going to be water resistant, not submergible. So if you are and it's outside and it's raining, you can use your phone without issues. It is going to have 12 gigs of RAM. It is going to have Gorilla Invictus glass on the front. Of course, it is going to be OLED on the front screen and the inside screen. The outside screen is 2092 by 1080p, 120 Hz. It's a 5.8-inch display when closed. Once you open it, the device is going to be 2208 by 1840p, 120 Hz OLED screen, 7.6 inches when it's fully open, so it becomes technically a small tablet. Of course, some of the features that they're touting are things that we have already seen. One of the things that Google is saying is that this is going to have the best foldable hinge. So that means that this hinge is going to be better than anything that Samsung has put out in any other foldable companies. But I've heard that before, and I've heard it before from, Samsung. They also said that this is going to have the best zoom camera available on any foldable device. Again, that isn't too hard to beat because we have Samsung to beat. And as we know, Pixel usually beats Samsung when it comes to photography. They are touting, of course, dual screen use. They're also touting how you can be able to do multitasking on this device. All these things we have already seen in other places, aka the Galaxy Z Fold from Samsung. So these things aren't brand new, right? We are used to seeing these things. It's like saying that your phone allows you to press the screen and open an app. It exists. We have done it millions of times. There's nothing really exciting about it. Of course, it's how it's implemented that is exciting. And that is something that Google is putting a lot of effort into. And one of those things is seamless transition from one thing to another. So one of the examples that they gave is you're looking at a video on your front screen, but you want to open the device to watch the video in that big screen. So all you have to do is literally open that phone and that video is going to move into your big screen. And it really looked very, very smooth when they did it. Another thing is bringing split screen. If you want to share that video with someone via text, your text messaging is going to come on that other screen while your video continues playing on the other screen, making it where you can continue doing things that you were doing before. Now, the device is available for pre-order now and it ships next month. But to me, the biggest mistake about this is that it's going to cost $1,799 or $1,800 or over $1,800 after taxes. And to me, that is the dumbest thing that Google could have done when it comes to price. And yes, I know what you're going to say. Well, Samsung sells a device for the same price. Exactly. Samsung sells the Galaxy Z Fold 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4th generation for $1,800, which yes, means that the price has come down from where it used to be, right? But we're talking about the 4th generation of a device from Samsung versus the 1st generations from a device from Google. And at $1,800, it becomes a hard sell. And why does it become a hard sell? It's because we're technically buying a mid-range foldable phone at a premium price. And yes, Google is going to be launching their device now, using the Tensor G2. The Tensor G2, which was unveiled last year, but you're still going to have tech at a premium price that came out last year. Because guess what? The new Pixel is going to be announced later this year in the fall. And that device most likely is going to have the Tensor G3. Meaning the device that you're buying now in June is going to be, I know we're in May, but it ships in June. So the device that you're going to be buying now in June is going to have old specs. And if you're a person who's paying premium price for a premium device, you want premium specs. And when they see the sticker of $1,800, they're going to be like, a Pixel phone for $1,800? When I can get a premium Pixel phone for half the price? To me, that was a missed opportunity by Google. And if they came with a lower price to the market, let's say $1,500 to $1,600, they would have forced also Samsung to come out later in the year with the Galaxy Z Fold 5 at a lower price and start bringing the market down on foldables. But Google didn't do that. I guess their thinking is, oh yes, we're gonna throw the Pixel Watch in when you pre-order your Pixel Fold, meaning that if we're thinking about what the price of the Pixel Watch is right now, which is $300 as the time of this recording, then you're technically getting a $300 discount. So technically you are paying $1,500 for this thing. But the problem is that means that I will want to use a Pixel Watch, which doesn't mean that I want a Pixel Watch. Doesn't mean that I want to be part of your whole ecosystem, which is of course what they're trying to do when they give you the watch, is trap into the ecosystem. That doesn't become as much of an incentive as they think it is. The Google Earbuds Pro would have been a better gift with the phone than the watch, right? Because everybody uses earbuds. An earbud is more useful than a watch. There were really cool things about it though. I really like all the customization that they're bringing to their devices. As I said earlier, they're making the phones a lot more fun. They're making the devices a lot more you, which is the whole idea of this material you thing that hasn't really panned out. But now it seems like they're actually, letting you do more customizations. There are some positives. As I said earlier, also the AI portion to me wasn't that positive. It feels like there's going to be a lot of the computers doing things for you where you don't even have to think about anymore, which tends to become a problem later on in the day. So maybe I'll do a video separately about all this AI stuff. I don't know yet how I feel about that. But I'm not 100% on board, as you can tell. Anyway, that's everything that Google announced. What do you think about what Google has announced? Are you excited about the Pixel Fold? What do you think about all this AI in your devices? Let me know in the comment section. I'm like, I can't think anymore right now for some reason. So that is it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. And thank you very much for watching.